Today, I'm going to show you how easy it is to create custom YouTube thumbnails in Canva, and I'm going to do it in 5 minutes.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and...
Hey, what's going on? Josh here, and I'm going to show you how I make my custom YouTube thumbnails in Canva, and technically you can do it for free. I do use the paid version. I'll talk about that a little bit, but the reason why I'm making this video is because I had a question from somebody and they said, hey, can you do a video on how you make your thumbnails, because your thumbnails are so much better now than they were a year ago. And I thought to myself, what a great idea for a video, right? So I'm going to move over to my screen here in just a second. I'm going to show you exactly how I will get this done in the shortest amount of time possible. I'll show you a couple tricks on how you can make things look really great and pop. And then I'm also going to show you a quick little tip on how I can recreate these much faster instead of having to go through all the research and, creativity process. So let's move over to my screen right now. So here we are on my Canva. And like I said, I do use Canva Pro. You can see right over here, I do that. And so that gives me a little bit extra options. And there's a couple things in here that I am going to do that do require Canva Pro. There are other free ways to do this, but for this one, I'm just going to do a couple of these things here so you can see how fast it goes. And what I'm going to do real quick for you is I'm actually going to run through like a super speed 5-minute build of the thumbnail to show you that it takes literally only 5 minutes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back over, bring myself back on the screen here, and then I'm going to show you and walk you through exactly how I did it. So then that way you know all the steps that are in place, because I don't want to give you the false expectation that it can take 5 minutes and then my walkthrough actually take longer, because you got to understand when you're teaching somebody, it does take a little bit longer to do it. So I'm going to switch you over here. You're going to see my timer pop up. I'm going to run a timer and Canva on the same screen, and then I'm going to run you through the process. It's probably going to be really quick, so don't try to follow the steps. Just watch that it takes 5 minutes, and then we'll go through the walkthrough right after that. So what we're going to do first is, instead of going to one of my previous designs, I'm just going to go in here. You can see I've already searched for YouTube thumbnail. This is how I get new ideas if I want to switch things up. So I'm going to click on that, and you're going to see that that's going to load up a list of YouTube thumbnails. All right, so here's the list of the thumbnails, and you can see there's a whole bunch of different ideas here, different formats, different colors. The great news, you don't have to keep the colors that are on there, and I'll show you how easy it is to switch those up. But so here we have this list, and all we're going to do is we're just going to find one that looks good. So I'm going to go with this one at the top here. I like the way that this is set up, and I think that I can utilize that. So the first thing that you're going to notice right away is you're going to see some templates that show up on the left here, and you're going to see that they have different colors and different font styles and things like that. We're going to keep this one, but what we're going to do is we're just going to change it real quick. So we're going to highlight the income word. We're going to say custom. For the green word, we're going to say thumbnails. And then for this one here, we're going to say in 5 minutes. Okay. And then for this, you can see this box here is a little big. So what I'll do is I'll make this smaller, make it easier to move around. And then I'll just center this inside the little blue box. I kind of like this idea of this box being down here. It just separates the words a little bit. And if it's not going where you want it, you can hold down Control, and then it lets you notice it's not snapping anymore. So Control, or if you're on the Mac, Command, I believe. I'm on a Windows machine. And then if you let go of your mouse button while you, like before you let go of control, it'll snap wherever you left it. So then here, what we're going to do is we're just going to leave that, but I'm going to take the picture off here of the guy, and then I'm going to go find a picture that I've already uploaded. Now, if you haven't uploaded a picture, you would just go into uploads on the left. You would click upload media, and then you would go upload the picture that you want to use. I've already got a bunch in here that I'm going to use. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in, and let's go find, I think I'm going to use my hand here that I did the number 5. So I'm just going to click on the picture to put it in here. It's going to automatically pop it in. I'm going to move it over. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this bigger because I want my hand to be giant on the screen. Okay. Make it kind of like pop out a little bit. So we'll go something like that. And we'll put me kind of right here. Like that. Okay. So now you notice with the background, it doesn't look very good. So this is where the Pro version of Canva really comes into play. And you can come in here and you can just click on background remover and it's going to automatically do this. Now here's what's cool, right? Here's my hands. I'm not doing anything. Canva is doing all the work for me to remove this background. And so you can see now that looks great. Canva does a great job picking up the backgrounds. So what I did here is I just clicked away from the picture just so to make sure it updates right so it looks okay. And then I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going to bring this picture forward because I want my pinky over the custom. So you just go to position and just say come forward. And I'm going to make it be as forward as possible. And then I'm going to click off of the picture, make sure it looks okay. But now what I'm going to do is a little trick that I love to give myself a little photo background, or like a white kind of shadow background, make myself glow a little bit, is I'm just going to click on the picture again. I'm going to do Control C to copy and then Control V to paste. And you see it just gave me a double, right? So I'm going to move my double over and then I'm going to go back to the original. And here's what's really cool. This you can do without the Pro features. Is you can kind of come in here and you can go into adjust. And what I do is I do brightness all the way up, contrast all the way up, make it bright. I do saturation all the way down, okay? And then I do blur at about 20. And you're gonna see what it's gonna do is it's gonna make this kind of like fuzzy background, right? Now, when I go take my other picture that I just copied, and I'm just gonna put this right over the top of my original. There you go, just like that. So look what that did. That just gave me a little bit of kind of pop out. It makes it look really clean. And then I'm gonna do one other thing that is a signature for my thumbnails. And I recommend you having a signature for your thumbnails, something that people know is your thumbnail. Now, I know other people that do this, but I do this myself because I believe that it's worth it. And it just makes it stand out, is I put a border around mine. So I'm going to bring this border over and I'm just going to use these little lines on the edge and I'm just going to bring that up to the edges. And you can see I'm not doing a whole lot here and this is already looking pretty nice. I really like that background with the dots and stuff. And so there's that. And oh, I want that to go to the edge. There we go. Okay. So now that this is all done, right? And we're all set here on the left side. Now these are not the colors I want to use. So on the left side, I want to go over to styles. Now I have a color palette that I use for YouTube specifically. You'll notice it on my background, on my cover photo. You'll notice it in a lot of my thumbnails. And it's so that way I have a common color scheme for all of my stuff. So I'm going to go over here and click my YouTube color scheme. And you're going to notice that it is going to automatically update the colors. And if I want to switch the colors up, I'm going to hit shuffle over here. I'm just going to click the colors again. And you're going to notice it's going to flip it around. And that one looks decent, but I think I'm going to do it again. And you can just sit here and shuffle for a little bit until you find one. So I kind of like this one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the banner. And I'm going to say, I'm going to go yellow for the outside. So now it makes it pop a little bit. And then for the thumbnails, for this word here, I'm going to highlight the words and I'm actually going to change the color on that one. I think I'm going to go for more of like a light gray color because now it stands out a little bit. And I might actually, even then, I might come over here and let's go to the colors and let's actually just go straight white. Let's see what that looks like. Perfect. So that stands out quite a bit, right? And then what I can do too is there is an effect on this. It's got the shadow effect. So for the shadow, what I could do is I could go in and throw in my red. No, that doesn't look right. Let's do dark gray. There we go. So it gives it a little bit of depth, right? And so here we are. This is pretty much done. But what I'm going to do is I see this background here, and I know that there's a spot that I can actually make this look kind of poppy, right? So now I just realized, I can update that background and give it kind of a red background. So now it still falls within the colors that I normally use. And now I have a bright and flashy thumbnail. That's it. We're done. So now I'm going to say custom thumbnails in 5 minutes. Download PNG. And you notice here too, when you select it, it already puts it in the 1280 by 720, which is the recommended thumbnail size for YouTube. I go and click download. So here's what's great about this, okay? I'm going to use that thumbnail for this video. So let's say, for example, I wanted to quickly create another thumbnail. So I'm just going to close this tab and I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go back to the home tab on Canva, and that's going to take it back to my home page. And you're going to see the recent designs here, and you're going to see that new thumbnail there. Okay, so everything's loaded, and you can see the most recent design there, custom thumbnails in 5 minutes. You can see that that thumbnail is there. It's going to be saved there forever as long as I have an account with Canva. The great thing about this is if you really like the way that that's laid out, and you really like that, and you just want to put a different picture in it or something like that, you don't have to go recreate everything. You can just come over here, and there's these little 3 dots next to the design, and you can click that and say make a copy, and it's going to make an exact copy of that thumbnail. That way you can keep this design, and then you can make a whole new design using the same kind of structure and just maybe update the picture and the text to something different and maybe the colors. And now you can do that. Or if you want to have the same structure for all of your thumbnails, instead of just redoing the same thumbnail in case you maybe want to go back and update colors or update text or something like that, you make a copy so then that way you're not using the same one, because it will overwrite the design. If you open this up and change it, it's going to change this design. It's not going to automatically create a new one unless you either pick a new template or you create a copy. And to show you this right here, I have a group that's called Augmentino Quotes. I don't care about reusing a lot of those because I save all the pictures and I don't plan to go back and update them. So I've been just overwriting it. So you don't see any like a bunch of quotes, but I made about 15 of these today and I just overwrote it because I don't care. There should be 15 recent designs like this, but there's not because I just used the same one over and over and changed it and changed the title of it every time I saved it. But it doesn't, even if you change the title, it won't overwrite it. So if you want to make additional copies, but you don't want to lose this design specifically, just like I said, use the 3 dots in the corner and do make a copy. Now, I want to talk about Canva's Pro subscription here for a minute because a lot of people are undervaluing what Canva can really do. You just saw right there that I built an entire custom YouTube thumbnail. Granted, I did go grab a template, but here's the thing. Do you really want to do everything from scratch? I don't. This is a great time saver for me. But with the Pro subscription, the nice thing about it is you can go search for those templates and you can use any of those templates in order to build your custom anything, right? They can do books, they can do pictures, you can edit your photos, you can do anything you want with Canva. And having the Pro subscription actually allows you to get more features like the background remover. So instead of having to have 2 apps, one to remove the background and then one to go edit your photo, Canva Pro is only $12.95 a month, $12.95. That's it. So all you have to do is you just have to go through and set up your subscription and you get access to all of their premium features, all of their premium elements, all of their premium templates, and it gives you way more creative power with way less time. So if you want to get started with the Canva Pro subscription, there's a link down below that you can go ahead and check out. I'm going to have it in the first comment as well. And I hope this was valuable for you. If you loved this content, don't forget to like it, subscribe so you can see more content like this. Hit that notification bell so that way you get notified every time I release a video. And I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.